please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Before you came here, one of our earlier panelists was Captain Amrinder Singh, and he's a former infantryman himself. And he painted a very dire picture of the situation in terms of weapons, in terms of ammo, in terms of guns. We have a lot of Faujis in the audience today. And he says that the 7.62 guns, which he used as an infantryman back in the 60s and 70s, is being reintroduced. What is the real picture? Are our forces really well equipped to deal with the challenges that they face?
There's no doubt that there is a big challenge in front of us. But it's not as being projected. I'm not contradicting Captain Amrinder Singh, who I've not heard. I don't know what he said here. But the fact is, look at it from two different points of view. There was a huge debate about Chennai.
Yeah.
Do we have enough ammunitions if we were to have 10 days of intensive war? We have addressed that issue, and I'm glad to say that the vice chiefs have been given enough power, and together with it, enough financial limits have been sanctioned to them so that they can take the decision, buy whatever they need with a sense of urgency, which no better than no one else than they can understand. So that has already been given to them, and they are rapidly making their decisions.
No, but ma'am, you've seen the Vice Chief's comments to the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Defence. He says 68% of our weapons are vintage.
I've got to be conscious.
Sure, absolutely.
I've got to be conscious that we are talking about a standing committee report even as the Parliament is in session. So however much I would like to expand on it and say, yes, for everything that is now being said in public about the Vice Chief commenting, there are other things which the Vice Chief has also said which will add much more confidence to us, which also has to have a play in the public discourse. But I wouldn't want to reply, or give an answer to the Standing Committee's report, even as the Parliament is in session, out here. But I'm duty-bound to give it in the Parliament, and I shall do that.
But this general sense, and I believe, again, this is a sense that's shared by a lot of ex-Faujis here, is that the budget allocation for defense this time has been relatively low, in fact, quite low. The point is, again, every country has its own priorities. You need to pay for health, you need to pay for education. In that relative context, vis-a-vis already the amount of the share that the defense budget goes for just salaries and pensions, what is left for weapons upgrade, for modernization, given the kind of challenges that we face from the western side and from the eastern side?
First of all, the figure which we talk about saying, is that sufficient for modernization? And also equally say the money that you have to spend for pensions is huge. Oh no, the figure that we're talking about for modernization or for defense is exclusive of what is being given for pensions or OROP related. So distinctly two different amounts have been very clearly mentioned in the budget, and therefore the debate should not talk about the budget with the commitments given for OROP. OROP related matters are already kept separate.
Sure.
But even then, is this sufficient for modernization? Is this sufficient for so many other things which have been pending? I think as soon as the budget was announced, I said, I'm happy with what we've got. And why did I have to say that? And I say that even today. Why did I have to say that? Both my senior predecessors, Parikar and Arun Jaitley, and myself after my coming in September, have repeatedly reviewed the situation, looked at all the pending projects on which decisions had not been taken over a decade, prioritized, made the forces prioritize on what they want with a sense of urgency, what can wait, what cannot. And based on that, our consultations with Ministry of Finance happened.
Okay.
So it's not as if devoid of the list of priorities that the three forces have given, we've rushed to something with the finance ministry, or we didn't commit ourselves to the finance ministry, and what they gave us crumbs we've taken. I'm sorry, that's a wrong picture. The consultations happened after the three forces and the Coast Guard made their list of priorities. Well, for a decade if decisions are not made, and if there is a list of 100 for each of them, from among them there should be some priority for me to demand funds for 1 year based on the 10-year waiting list.
Sure.
How much more can I do? Not that I want a credit saying I've done, but the ministry has continuously, with the forces telling us and reshuffling the priorities, assessed our demand. And therefore, to suddenly say, for the level of modernization that the armed forces have to undergo, this is insufficient. The level of modernization that the armed forces has to undergo, I understand. We have to give a lot more. No
Sure.
doubt on that. But it's not as if we've not done our homework before going to the finance, or not taking into cognizance our demand, our homework. The finance ministry has thrown some amount at us. No,
Sure.
it's done in consultation.
Okay.